Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. So I know I realized I had posted in my community page. I can't read that. I posted on my community page that both my parents were in the hospital with COVID-19 and pneumonia, and I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on that. So I know my mom, she went in on Christmas Day. So I guess what happened was someone in my family, they had contracted it, I guess, or no, they were afraid that they had it, so they were isolating and they were going to test afterwards. And I guess my parents, since they were in contact with them, they were told to quarantine as well. So it turns out that that original family member, they tested positive, and my parents, they got tested, and I think it was negative at first, but then my mom started getting really sick, and I remember that like my family was saying that like my mom's really sick, so I FaceTimed her, and she said that she couldn't keep any food down, and when I was listening to her breathe, she was like it was like this gurgling sound, and she did not sound good at all. And so I was telling her, if you can't keep food down, you're gonna have to go to the hospital. And she's like, no, I can't do that. I have to, quarantine. Then I remember telling her, like, no, if you can't, this was Christmas Eve, I believe. Yeah, Christmas Eve. And I said, you have to go to the hospital. So the next day, I was going to go to my brother's house, because at this point I was working from home 100% of the time and I wasn't seeing anyone, and I live alone. So here the rules are, if you live alone, you are allowed to see people like in your bubble. And I guess it was my brother, his girlfriend, and their daughter, and so I guess they didn't want me to spend Christmas alone, so I was going to go there. So I told my brother, can we drop some stuff off at their house? And so we went to, our local Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada, which is like, our version of CVS. And we went to go call them and ask them if there's anything you need. And my dad picked up and he said, oh, we're actually at the hospital now. And so, yeah, my stepdad asked for a couple things. So we went to go to the store, and then we dropped it off. And, I guess because I'm the oldest, and I was just, trying to keep it together, not freak out, but internally definitely freaking out. So yeah, we dropped the stuff off, and I guess later that evening we found out that she tested positive for pneumonia and COVID, and she was on a ventilator, and I had to be the one to call the original family member to tell them, yeah, she's in the hospital and she's got COVID and she's got pneumonia. That original family member, he's quite young. I think he said he felt sick for a couple days, but he was fine. But my parents definitely weren't. I don't remember exactly how long after, but a couple of days after, I remember like my stepsister, like they're saying that they're worried about him, that no one's heard from him. I guess everyone was trying to call him, and they wouldn't pick up. But for some reason, he picked up my phone call, and he wasn't making too much sense. And the breathing was kind of the same kind of gurgling breathing that I recognized in my mom. And he wasn't very responsive to what I was saying and not really making sense, which is not like him at all. So I felt kind of powerless in that moment. So I just decided to call the ambulance, and yeah, my stepsister, I guess, went back there, and she said that he didn't even really recognize her at the time, and it turned out that he had pneumonia as well. And he stayed there. Unfortunately, they weren't allowed to be together. Yeah, it was super brutal. And it was really scary. My mom was they both were on ventilator, but I think my mom was kind of worse. She had a room by herself. So I don't know. I felt like really powerless, but this is kind of like what I did. And disclaimer, I don't know if it helped or not. It could just be a coincidence that they got better, but this is what I did. And just in the off chance that maybe it did make a difference, and maybe it can help someone else out, or even just to help you feel better if you are in a similar situation, if a loved one is in the hospital. I think I wanted to share it with you. But yeah, disclaimer, this is some kind of like spiritual stuff. If you're not interested in hearing that part, I totally understand. You can maybe skip ahead or click out if you're not into that stuff, but this is what I did. I'm very spiritual, and I'm into stuff, and I was like, there has to be something I can do, like some kind of, ritual or something. I don't know. So I looked up that if you do what's called it's called a petition. So basically you take a piece of brown paper and a square, and you write around it like what you're asking for. And this is the way that I did it was not to it was just basically a request or a prayer to the universe, God, whatever you believe in. This is what I did anyways. And I just said, heal my mom. I wrote around it, and you just kind of try not to take your pen off of it, and you just kind of write around until you reach the middle. And then I put it under a candle. And what I did I got a candle, and I anointed it with oil, which I can't remember what oils I used, just like rosemary or something. I can't honestly remember. I had some essential oils, which I anointed, put on the candle. And then I wrote my mom's name and her birthday on the candle. And then I lit the candle, and I put salt onto the flame as it's lit. And I just looked into the candle, and I just kind of meditated, and I tried to visualize, I visualized her where she was, and just leaving the sickness, leaving her body. And at one point I just ended up in visualizing. I would take deep breaths, and I just visualized that I was breathing for her. Every breath, I just envisioned her lungs filling up with air, and that I was breathing for her. And that's one thing that I did. And I ended up doing basically the same thing for my stepdad as well. And they were scared that he had a brain infection because he was kind of not making too much sense. So I did the same thing. And when I was visualizing, it was everything was kind of black, and I saw this kind of ball. It was kind of reddish orange, and I kept replaying sickness, burn, good health, return. I just kind of kept repeating that: sickness, burn, good health, return. And I just kept repeating that, and I just visualized, all the sickness leaving his body as well. And also, for my mom, I would call her every single day. And I'm very good at compartmentalizing things. In the moment, I'm good in a crisis, and then I kind of deal with it after the fact, if that makes sense. So I would call her every day, and I would just kind of, I know it sounds weird, but pretend that everything is kind of normal. This is temporary, and she's gonna get better. And then I would just kind of try to make jokes, lighten the mood for her, so she wouldn't be feeling doom and gloom, just kind of oh, this is temporary. And try to talk about plans, we're gonna do this when you get out, when you get better, and just kind of be happy and try to lighten the mood. which is like hard. And I think I was the only one that was able to do that, but I think it kind of really worked. And then at first she was like too sick to even think about TV, but I was like asking her, like, you know, do you want TV? I'll buy you TV. And I ended up buying her the TV. And after that, that's how she slowly started getting better. And then I kept asking her, like, she wasn't able to eat for a long time, so I was saying, have you eaten yet? Have you eaten yet? And then until one day she's like, oh, I'm hungry. And I was like, what do you want? I'll DoorDash you some food. So I ordered some White Spot. I don't know if they have that anymore, but Canada. But she wanted pasta, so she wants spaghetti. And so I DoorDashed that to her. She ate it all. Another day, like, I want Tim Hortons, so I ordered her Tim Hortons. I just kind of try to talk to her every day until, you know, she got better. And with my stepdad as well. I mean, that's all you really can do, is just try to lighten the mood. And I tried to keep myself positive and not let myself think of the worst case scenario. I remember my stepdad taught me that one time when we were afraid that, like, a family member had cancer, and he's like, no, she can't have cancer, like, because it's not an option, it's just not possible. And it taught me that you just have to not let your mind go there to think of the worst case scenario. You just have to always think of the best possible outcome, because I definitely think your thoughts have power. They say your words are spells. You speak things into existence. So I just tried to be very careful about what I thought and not, like, visualize that anything bad was going to happen. I'm like, she's going to get better. She's going to get better. And to be honest, like, at that time luckily it happened when I just happened to be off work. And in a way, it's good or bad, because I felt like, oh, I didn't really get much of a vacation. But in a way, it was good because I put all of my energy into, like, thinking she's going to get better, thinking the best for her. I just put all of my energy into that every single day. And it was, like, tiring, but I'm so glad that they both have fully recovered. They're both at home. Well, they have been for a while. My stepdad went home first. And then my mom went home shortly after, but they're both fully recovered now. And it's really scary because I've seen a lot of people posting that actually did end up losing their parents, and I feel incredibly lucky, incredibly blessed that my parents recovered. Not everyone does that. And if you have lost someone to, you know, COVID, my heart goes out to you. And it's such a wake-up call that, you know, you can lose anyone at any time. And, you know, especially your parents, like, it's easy to, like, take them for granted, but they're not going to be around forever, and you should definitely appreciate them while you have them and make them feel special, and just never take that for granted. And I definitely don't. We actually went for dinner, like, not too long ago. So yeah, luckily both of my parents have recovered. They're doing well, and I thank everyone that sent any well wishes or prayers for them. I just wanted to give you that update. If you are going through this, I'm here for you. I know what it's like. It's awful, it's scary, but just try to think positive, and hopefully that little candle visualization prayer, hopefully it'll work for you. Like I said, I don't know if it did anything. I don't know. I know that my mom said, she's like, I think she said that she thought that it was haunted in the hospital because the taps started turning off and on by themselves, and I was just like, oh wow, that's weird. But I guess there's lots of death in the hospital, so who knows. But I don't know. But I'm just grateful to God, the universe, that they got better. And I don't know, I still feel like I was, like, in flight or fight mode a little bit. Like, kind of, it's almost like when you're driving a car and you're about to crash into someone or something, and you feel yourself, like, tense up and you're trying to swerve. Like, luckily we were able to miss that thing, but I still feel, like, that tension, you know. And, you know, I just saw them recently. Like, I know they're okay, but I'm just trying to, like, I guess I just kind of pent everything up, and I still have to let go of that worry and that stress. because yeah, they're okay now, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but even though they're okay now, I still feel kind of like worried, but they're out of the woods for sure. We're now into February, and they were out, I think both of them just before I went back to work, which I think was January 6th. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update and say thank you to everyone. Yeah, now I have I'm living alone again, and I just need to get back into like a good routine and making time for making my videos because I enjoy them so much. Yeah, I've had a roommate for like last couple months, and I've been shy to make videos around her, and I just need to make time for me and things that make me happy, and that's definitely my channel and talking to you guys. And so I just want to thank you for all of your support, and yeah, and everything. You guys are so great, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and hopefully getting back to a good routine soon. But yeah, I guess that's everything. Comment down below, have you had this? Like, what was it like? Do you know anyone that's had it? I don't know, just let me know your experiences with this and what's happened to you. And if you do try like what I did with the candle and the visualization, let me know, and I really, really, really hope it works for you too. But yeah, I guess that's everything. I hope you're all staying safe out there, and I guess also, if you are hanging out with people that you just like don't know where they've been, so to speak, I would caution you to just be careful in making sure that you're spacing out the times with those kinds of people between you and seeing your family, because you might be okay, but your family might not be okay, because they might be, a certain age, they might have underlying issues. So just take that into consideration, because I know that family member felt bad giving my parents COVID, giving them COVID, which then turned into pneumonia. I know they felt bad, but it's kind of like you should feel kind of bad, Of course, like you don't know, it's not on purpose, but I'm just saying as a word of caution, just be careful. If you're young and you think you're invincible, maybe if you get this, maybe it won't kill you or make you that sick, but you don't know what it's going to do to someone that you love. And it's easy to kind of say people are exaggerating, it's just a flu, but when it happens to you or someone that you care about, you'll kind of think of it a little bit differently. So that's all that I have to say on that. Just a word of warning, because imagine something did happen, how terrible that person would feel, like basically killing them. But thank God that they're okay. But I'm just saying, be careful when it comes to seeing your parents. Like, if you have your little bubble or whatever the rules are wherever you are, just be careful. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all are staying safe and happy and healthy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.